If there's one thing you can count on the blog host Scott Cam knowing, it's how to rebuild. And when he saw the scenes of devastation emerging from the disastrous flood crisis in Queensland and New South Wales, his reaction was telling. "I thought, how are they ever going to get back to normal? How are they going to rebuild?" he said. The Australia Unites Red Cross Flood Appeal Telethon is on this weekend. "I thought, this is an impossible task." But he knows well enough how community spirit and hard effort can change what's impossible. And so Cam will join a host of his TV colleagues across 3 networks and an assembly of music stars tomorrow night for the Australia Unites Red Cross Flood Appeal Fundraising Telethon, presented jointly by 9/7 Network and Network 10 from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. The blog's Scott Cam will be one of the hosts on the night. "I was caught up in the bushfires a couple summers back. I know what it's like," Cam said. "Anything you can do to get involved in that, this is a very important night." He expects millions and millions of dollars to be raised, with Australians digging deep to help out. And crucially, 100% of the funds raised during the telethon will go to people affected by the floods. Delta Goodrem will be one of the stars performing. Cam will be joined by Sylvia Jeffries, Andy Lee and Peter Overton, along with 7 Network's Natalie Barr, David Coll, Sonia Kruger and Mark Ferguson, and Network 10's Carrie Bickmore, Dr. Chris Brown, Amanda Keller and Osher Gunsberg. Generations of artists will also come together to help raise crucial funds. John Williamson, Tones and I, Baker Boy, Delta Goodrem, Missy Higgins, Hunters and Collectors, Jessica Mauboy, The Living End and far more have contributed their time and talents to the event. Cam said he was unsurprised by the star quality of the lineup, saying it mirrored what was happening on the ground and in the affected communities, where neighbors were helping each other out and people were rushing to offer what they could. The massive flood damage has left a damage bill running into the billions, and thousands without livable homes. "I think Aussies do that all the time," he said. "Look at all the tradesmen who've gone up to Lismore and those areas, who've gone up to help. And looking at the heroism and Herculean efforts from those on the front lines was a reminder of what was important," Cam said. "This is a small part of it," he said, referring to the telethon. "We'll hopefully raise some much-needed money. But it's those people on the ground who are doing the important thing." With that said though, he reminded people that no contribution was too small if they could afford to give it. "Road broken in half by floodwaters. Every dollar counts," he said. "Imagine if everybody in Australia gave just $2, you'd have $50 million. And for many people caught up in them, the unprecedented floods were just the latest disaster in a couple of tough years. Those small businesses up there, they've been through 2 years of COVID, and now this," Cam said. "I guess what I'd like to say is, we're with you." Donations to the telethon will help Red Cross teams provide humanitarian support to people and communities smashed by the floods. This will include enabling volunteers and staff to help with evacuation and relief centers and outreach services, and supporting people and communities to recover and build resilience to disasters. Red Cross will also provide financial assistance to help people and families affected by the unprecedented floods. If you want to donate ahead of the telethon, you can contribute to Red Cross existing flood appeal at redcross.org.au/floodsappeal or by calling 1-800-733-276.